back when I was 18. I was working the opening shift at a U-Haul rental center. It was one of those gritty asphalt and exhaust lots. Directly across from us was this nightclub, the kind of place that didn't have a name so much as a reputation for being a black hole. It was sketchy, windowless, and the air around it always felt heavy, even in the daylight. The morning silence. It was about 5:30 a.m. The sun was just a gray smudge on the horizon, and I was in the office alone getting the keys ready. It was common to hear a knock on the glass early. People are always in a rush to move, hoping you'll let them in 10 minutes before the sign says open. But this knock, it wasn't the impatient rap of a customer. It was a frantic, wet thudding, thump, 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 like someone was throwing their whole weight against the door. The figure in the glass. I walked toward the front, my heart already doing a nervous rhythm in my chest. When I looked through the glass, the breath left my lungs. Standing there was a woman. She was completely naked, shivering so hard I could hear her teeth chattering from the other side of the door. But it was the color of her skin that stopped me cold. She was slicked in a dark brownish-red substance. In the dim morning light, I thought she'd been mangled. I thought I was looking at a walking corpse. I didn't think. I just reacted. I grabbed one of those heavy, quilted blue moving blankets. From the stack, the ones that smell like dust and industrial thread, and I bolted outside. The reality. As I got close to wrap the blanket around her, the smell hit me like a physical wall. It wasn't just the metallic tang of blood. It was the stench of waste and the sour chemical odor of a gutter. She wasn't just bleeding. She was covered in her own filth. She couldn't speak. She just gripped that rough, moving blanket, her eyes wide and glassy, looking right through me. She was vibrating with a level of shock that felt electric. I got her to sit down, called 911, and waited in that suffocating silence until the sirens cut through the morning air. The aftermath. I found out the details a few days later from the detectives. She'd been at that club across the street. Someone had spiked her drink with something heavy, likely GHB or a high dose of ketamine. They'd dragged her into the alleyway behind the club, raped her, and left her for dead in the dirt. She had woken up in the darkness, blacked out and terrified. And the first light she saw was the glowing orange sign of my U-Haul station. To this day, whenever I see one of those orange trucks or smell the dust of a moving blanket, I don't think about moving houses. I think about that woman, the shadow of that club, and how thin the line is between a normal Tuesday morning and a total nightmare.